I'm back, everyone. 2 weeks, no fishing. Possibly the worst 2 weeks of my life. Where have I been? Well, I'd like to say I've used my international fame and fortune to travel the globe. Went to Mexico, fished for rooster fish, popped off at the Maldives, caught some GTs. But the truth is I've been in bed dying of man flu. That's not a fake thing. All my female viewers, you wouldn't understand. It's real. Here is footage of me dying of man flu. Anyway, here I am out. I very quickly shoved the cameras on without getting the lights out, just to prove to you it's almost light still. It's what are we, March the 11th. It is 6:30 of the evening. So my rush out of work today, I've hit Hordle Cliffs, and I've come out, and I'm setting up in a tiny little bit of light. Only little things, but little wins in life. Spring is in the air, the days are longer, life is good. Anyway, so yes, I come here because this is our traditional thing. It's spring. What do we do in spring? We fish for plaice and we fish for rays. And you come to Hordle Cliffs, and if you're lucky, you might catch a ray. So hopefully we'll catch millions of rays, because there's more rays around now than there ever has been. What I'd really like to bump into would be an undulate, because I actually haven't had very many undulates over the last year or so, and a spotty. I love spotties. Does chuck them up here. Ooh, also you get the odd turbot here, so if you're really lucky, you might see a turbot as well. But you know, I would take anything. It's a massive tide, like we said. I'm going to have a good tidal pull up there. We have got some good tidal strength here, so it'd be interesting to see. I rather stupidly only bought 6-ounce grips. We shall see. It might be a case of chucking it up tide, paying out a bit of line, doing a bit of up tiding. We'll see. We'll worry about that as it happens. But anyway, I'm going to get my gear ready, and then we're going to bring you back, because there's something else I want to discuss. Another reason why I'm down there. See you in a bit. Righto. Before we get started, let's have a little look at the smorgasbord for this evening, shall we? It is ray fishing, so it's going to be very simple stuff. I will be fishing, of course, a Bagnall bar with a very simple 2.0 panel at the end. I'm using a Kamazan B950U and a Tronix Pro T25 Octopus Circle with a bit of 050 snood line. I always use the Maxima Chameleon, but to be honest, use whatever you like. It doesn't matter. They're not technical fish. They're not going to shy away from anything. So bait-wise, super simple. We've got some nice little sand eels, some anchovy, and some squid. Lovely jubbly. It's a bit of cocktails of that really, but I just thought I would, whilst I'm doing it, just film how I bait up with the anchovy, just in case you haven't seen it in any of my previous videos. These are beautiful bait anchovies if you've not used them before. Similar to sort of sprat and sardine and all that sort of thing. So, first things first. I chop off just behind the head, and I chop off maybe an inch of the tail there. So I'm just left with a nice chunk of body. Okay. If anybody wants to know technicals, let me just stick that on my. That is 8 centimetres long. There you go, an 8 centimetre long chunk of bait. I'm then going to, with a decent pair of scissors, cut along the spine, either side of the spine, and just take that fillet off. And I have a fillet of anchovy. And I'm just going to, because I'm a bit OCD, just going to neaten up. I like to trim things, now things super neat. Don't like anything flapping off or sticking off at the side. Right, so there we go. So that was a nice fillet of anchovy. We're going to mount that next to a little bit of squid. So it's just a thin strip of squid. The squid adds a little bit of extra flavour and scent. Certainly things like the ungulate love a bit of squid. I used to do an awful lot of fishing with just squid, in fact. But also it helps hold that anchovy together. It's not as firm as a sort of a sand eel. Right, there you go. Two basically identical size pieces of bait. I'm going to use this is the longer baiting tool, so this is the Kali something baiting tool. to mount these. So these are ever so simple, just 2-pronged baiting tools. First things first, I'm just going to very gently thread the anchovy fillet up my tool like that. I'm then going to lay my hook, ignore the circle hook, push that out of the way, lay my hook and the line alongside the anchovy, like so. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'm going to sandwich the hook with that bit of squid, like so. And just hold it together. Grab your Batex elastic and just gently start whipping. It's always important when you're using Bait elastic not to pull too tight. In fact, you can see I'm just using the tension of my Batex tube here just to really gently hold the baits together. So I've gone all the way up. I'm now going to grip with the finger and thumb ever so slightly with the elastic, just a tiny little bit more tension. I'm going to work all the way back down again at a slight angle. Keep those coils quite close together. I don't like sort of like going, you know, rah, 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 like that. You just walk it up, and then as you can bend the bait in too much. And then a slight another angle all the way down to the end again. Once I'm at the end, a couple of quick, slightly tighter turns. Snap your elastic. Don't forget when you're using the tool to keep hold of that bit, so that the end is always there next time. And that's that. Grab the top end of the bait, slide the tool out. Got a bit of squid attached to my finger, I won't get off. And there we go. That is a beautiful squid and anchovy cocktail. So my circle hook just gets nicked in the top there. And that is that. So it's a nice, thin, streamlined, small, neat, tidy bit of bait. Loads of oil and flavour and juices coming out of the anchovy. And that nice, smelly bit of squid as well, holding it all together. So it's going to cast really well. It's aerodynamic. And it's going to catch fish. It's perfect for the size hooks I've chosen. Hopefully you can see there's loads of hook point on show, both top and bottom. Nothing is masked there. So if a fish comes along and chews that, chances are you're going to catch it. When I first got here, I had the luxury of the entire beach to myself. Now I have half of Dorset, or Hampshire, just to my left. Don't quite fully understand why on a completely empty beach, on one of the biggest tides of the year, I have 3 anglers set up 50 yards to my left, down-tidedly. There we go. Don't get me wrong, they're more than within their rights to do so. A little bit of etiquette wouldn't go amiss, perhaps. There we go. I mean, it was literally the other side of those 3 anglers, nothing for about a mile. Hey ho, there we go. They obviously saw some idiot in a pink hat and thought, that must be the hot spot, let's go there. Wow. It's been out there for about half an hour now, so let's bring it in. I did bring in this one earlier, and nothing on that one. This is that anchovy bait that we baited up, and okay, I either missed a bite or I'm stuck in. Come out, whatever you are. And there we go. Grip didn't want to let go. Oh, a little bit of weight on there. Could be a doggy on the first cast. Oh. Well, it's gone exceptionally light, so whatever it was, it's just decided to come off. Unless it's a very small ray skating along the surface. It was, in fact, a small ray skating across the surface. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, a thorny. A little baba thorny. That's okay. First cast on the anchovy. There we go. Little baba thorny. There we go. Circle hook. Hopefully some slightly bigger ones out there tonight, but it's a start. It's a start, guys. First doggo of the evening. And an absolute tiny one at that. Look at it. Fits nicely in my hand. There we go. In South Africa, they have a dogfish, very, very similar to these, slightly darker, but they call them shy sharks. Because when you catch them, they curl up in a ball like that and sort of hide their eyes, cover their eyes up with their tail like that. You can hold on that, and you can call them shy sharks. Oh, that was quite cool. Anyway, there you go. That's my story from South Africa. Went to South Africa, caught dogfish. Anyway, so that brings me on nicely to losing my towel. Hang on. To something that I thought I would start to do. So, in my incredibly poorly state the other day, lying on my deathbed, I decided to have a little flick through my my old videos and things like that, and have a little count up of how many species I have caught so far on camera. And I was quite pleased, actually. Have a guess. So over the last couple of years, since I've been doing these silly videos, how many species have I caught on camera? Bear in mind, I haven't necessarily gone species hunting, so it's not like an enormous number, like 50 or something crazy like that. So a lot of you species hunter guys out there are going to be very underwhelmed with this number, but I was actually quite pleased, a little bit more than I thought. So I compiled a list of my species, and on camera I have caught no fewer than, and if you guess it right, 28 different species on camera. Oh, I was quite pleased with that. I thought one of those was a river fish, the chub that I caught. It's quite a good list, actually. I won't go through it. Shall I go through it? Do you want to go through it? I'll go through it. Things you asked. Right, so we had small-eyed, whiting, pout, dog, bass, conger, thornback, gilthead bream, smooth-hound, squid. I put squid on the list. I know not technically a fish, but I was fishing for it. It's a sea creature, right? Allow me that, please. Cod, black bream, thin-lip mullet, corking wrasse, ballan wrasse. I caught a tompot blenny, so that's quite an interesting species. I caught that one when I was up Hengistbury, when I had those wrasse as well. Blonde ray, spotted ray, bull huss, chub, tub gurnard, mackerel, undulate ray, scad, plaice, sole, flounder and turbot. So although nothing sort of unusual, maybe the tompot on there, that's quite a good list. So I thought this year, I'd do a little bit more of that. Let's make 28, let's turn that into 40 straight away. That's got to be the sort of the guarantee. So I'll have an on-camera species list. And I thought, whilst I'm doing that, I should have an on-camera PB list as well. Because one thing I did notice going through my old videos, I don't weigh much. I don't actually weigh many fish. In fact, the only sort of noteworthy fish I did weigh, I'm calling it a YTPB list, okay? My YouTube personal best list. So my YTPB list, small-eyed ray, £7.4. I think that's the heaviest one I've weighed so far on camera. Bass of £5.7, a conger of £9.5, a thornback of 11.4. That's the best one because that is my actual PB as well. So that's my NYT PB, my non-YouTube personal best. Okay, we'll stop doing that in a minute. A thin lip mullet, 214, I think was the heaviest one I weighed. If I'm brutally honest, I didn't go through all my mullet videos. We'll crack £3 this year on camera. And a blonde ray of 514. There was nothing else on that list really worth weighing, I suppose. Maybe I just catch small rubbish fish all the time. But I caught a bull huss from here, which is my actual PB, because it's the only bull huss I've ever caught. I didn't weigh it though. It was about £1, wasn't it? So maybe I should start to weigh fish. We'll compile as the year goes on and as the seasons go by. Very poetical, isn't it? A species list and a bit of a PB list as well. I thought that'd be something to get my teeth into this year. And just a little reminder that it is still in fact winter. The whiting are still here. Another scrawny little doggy. These things are tiny. That's 4 fish in 4 casts. So the fish are feeding well. Strangely, the tide isn't doing as much as I thought it was going to. It is pulling a little bit, but quite comfortably. I thought it might be pulling a little bit harder than that. Species number 4 for the evening, and by far and away the best, Mr. Pouting. I said things would pick up, and they have. Immensely. Prince of the Sea. So on the night, I decide to talk about my PB list. Life is throwing me a fine selection of minuscule dogs. So I've just had another 4 dogs on the bounce. It's gone dog crazy. But that has to be one of the smallest dogs I have ever caught. It's absolutely gorgeous. Miniature perfection. Look at it. Probably won't weigh that one. Don't think we'll be adding that to the PB list, but there we go. Little update, it's Dog Central and they're giants. First drop back of the night. Hopefully not just an enthusiastic dogfish. Well, it's not doing a lot now, but I'm pretty convinced there's something on there. Come on, don't be a dog. Please don't be a dog. Oh, I just gave a little pull back then. Could be a ray. Certainly not going to be a record breaker. It might break up the monotony of dogfish. Hooray! Ah, see what I did there? Hooray. It's a ray. Yeah, okay. That was on the Sanddale and squid. Circle hook, corner of the mouth, as always. Oh, it's bit me! Similar. I should just go and get my pliers. You know, the tool that I actually carry around for taking these hooks out, but there we go. There we go. That's a lovely female. Quite a fat, chunky fish, to be fair. I'm not going to bother weighing it. Certainly not a PB. Certainly won't beat my my YT PB. It's a very welcome fish. Beautiful thing in amongst the dogs. Although, kind of wish it was an undulate or a spotty. Beggars can't be choosers. Very happy with that. Let's get her straight back. I can't quite decide whether I got a fish on this one or not. Despite the size of the tide tonight, I've been really disappointed with the sort of the strength of the bites and stuff. It is getting on now. It's nearly 10:30, so I've had a 4-hour crack at it tonight. So I'm going to bring this one in. I've got one more bait ready to go. So I'll bring this one on, get that one out there, and then have a little bit of a slow pack down. It's been a beautiful evening, it really has, and I've been very happy I came out. Let's have a look, see. If I was a gambling man, I'd say doggo. No, just a doggo. Wow, one way of finishing the evening, kind of sums everything up really. A single small dog on rod number 1 and a double dog on a panel on rod number 2. So that's dogs, I don't know, well into double figures anyway. 12, 13, something like that. Who knows, anyway. Cracking evening, really enjoyed it. Couple of rays, bonus rays, a little thorny, really early doors. My first fish, I think it was my first fish, wasn't it? And then a sort of a chunky but modest small-eyed in the middle of all that lot. And a few white in the pack. Lovely evening, really enjoyed it. Couple of things before you go. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. I need to say that more often, so here we go, that's me saying it. And the other thing is, don't forget I'm doing my Race for Life in June, so I'm raising money for Cancer Research UK. The fund is starting to tick up quite nicely, so thank you very, very much to everyone who's donated. I'll put a link in the description if you fancy donating to the cause online, or if you're passing the shop, just come in and throw money at me. Whatever money you fancy, preferably paper because it hurts less than it hits me, but anything really. Yes, I do appreciate anything you can donate. Aside from that, I shall see you on that. I suppose, yeah, I've got to think of some species now, haven't I? Got to put my thinking hat on and think outside the box slightly and see if we can get that species list as high as we can. So over the next couple of weeks, I might see what else I can find other than whiting, pouting, codfish and rays, because they're getting a bit boring there. But anyway, hope you guys are getting out doing some fishing and enjoying the slightly longer days, and I shall see you guys on the next video. Thank you.